Hey guys, what's up? It's Zyphon here, and today we're going to be learning how to play Hildryn in Warframe in 2019. Now, Hildryn doesn't fill any role in particular other than being fun. She's only unique in the sense that her abilities drain from her shields. She doesn't have any energy whatsoever. She's got some insane shield numbers. You can get your shield numbers even higher than mine with a different build, but my build is centered around, keeping you in your abilities for as long as possible. But let's talk about what the abilities actually do. The first ability is her Balefire Charger, which is her exalted secondary weapon. Now, this thing is pretty damn damaging. The build that I'm currently running on it has 34,000 corrosive damage per shot, which is crazy, right? So let's go ahead and spawn in some Corrupted Heavy Gunners, level 110. This is the highest level enemy you're going to find in, just your daily content like sorties and whatnot. You also have this cool unique dash right here. Pretty cool. This Balefire Charger is a ragdoll machine as well on enemies who aren't paused. Or, well, sometimes it, doesn't ragdoll them whenever they're paused. Other times it does. I don't really understand this game. It just screw me over whenever I'm making videos. The last time I shot these guys attempting to make this video, they would stand still. But this time, ragdoll heaven. So yeah, that's a thing. Balefire Charger, really damaging. Let's try shooting them from further away to see if we can not ragdoll them. Okay, they ragdoll. So I don't know what the hell the deal is with that, but this thing is a ragdoll machine. Look that we dealt a lot of damage per shot. That makes sense. We dealt a lot of damage with one shot, as you can see. Crazy numbers. Awesome. Every single time that you shoot the Balefire Charger, it's going to drain shield from your shield pool. So I went down the route of, minimizing how much shield it drains per shot. You can self-sustain your shields with your second ability to an extent, right? So if we go ahead, we jump over here to our bad guys, and we go ahead and we press our second ability. We go ahead and cast it again, or let the duration run out. What's going to happen is all of the armor / shields that the enemies have, a percentage is going to come back to you and go, or be added to your shields to a certain extent, right? It's going to cap out to whatever your overshield's cap is on whatever build that you're running, right? So mine just happens to be 4,755. We go ahead and we cast again. It goes down to 4,710. We let it run out, 4,755, right? So that's cool. Only works on enemies that have shields or armor. So infested, no go. There is a few enemies in the infested faction that do have armor, but not a very high armor value, right? The cool thing about playing against Grenier or Corrupted or whatever, you can sit and you can spam your second ability for days, and their armor isn't going to run out, because this is actually deducting the armor from these guys, right? So their armor is going to run out. So you may not want to run Cruise Projection on this build if you're all about just, self-sustaining your shields with the second ability. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to strip away all the armor from these guys and show you that it doesn't add anymore. So it will take a while. So there you go. Armor's completely gone. We cast our 2 again. And you see that we don't get anything back. We get maybe one shield back for some reason. That was probably because it was regenning while I was casting between the 2 casts that I was doing. But yeah, so it strips away armor. You get the armor back in the form of shields. It's cool. Fun. Third ability. Third ability is a shield buff if you are close to teammates. A pretty substantial one. But it's also radiation damage. Like a lot of radiation damage. Well, I say a lot. It's radiation damage per tick, basically, whenever you're connected to enemies, right? So if we go ahead and we press free, drains your energy a shit ton, but all enemies near you are having damage applied to them. So this is cool. It synergizes well with your fourth ability, implying you're close enough to, either allies or enemies. Shields aren't really valued that much in Warframe, so I doubt your teammates are going to be like, oh yeah, play Hildryn, we need the shields. If you're a newer player, I can see this being nice, but you're not going to be a newer player if you're farming Hildryn up, right? So I'm almost inclined to say that Hildryn is kind of like mastery fodder if you don't want to play around with the fourth ability and the first ability, and maybe the second ability to an extent. But, she's definitely still a fun friend to play. This third ability, apart from buffing up your ally shields, which isn't really that great to begin with, as you can see, isn't that great of a damage dealer, right? But paired with your fourth, can definitely score some brownie points. The bad thing is this ability drains way too much shields to be worth it, in my opinion. But yeah, let me just go ahead and get some more shields. Now, energy pickups actually give you shields on Hildryn and makes him start regenerating faster, which is really, really cool. If you're not near allies, if you're not near enemies, and you have your free active, then it's not going to drain your shields. And what you can do is, while you have your free active as well, you can go ahead and you cast your 2 to get your shields back. So let's go ahead and let it drain a little bit, cast our 2, and we get it back again. So that's pretty cool too. So the 4th ability is probably why you're going to pick up Hildryn in the first place. You basically turn into a helicopter. If you are close to the ground, you're going to have this wide AoE. And this wide AoE, if I can speak, is going to pick up enemies whenever you edge near them, right? So they're going to be up in the air. If you ascend, you go higher, the AoE is going to get smaller, right? It's a CC effect, and it's also a damage dealer. But damage is going to be more focused, so you deal more damage, right? Now, these guys have armor, so that we're not dealing a lot of damage. You cannot use your second ability while you're in this. This drains shield per second with your third ability, so I'd recommend maybe having your free turned off. It doesn't deal a lot of damage, but versus, like, you know, unshielded, unarmored enemies, it can definitely be good. It also makes energy orbs come out of the bad guys as well, so you can keep your shields up that way. You just kind of have to go close to the ground or have, you know, vacuum on or fetch on your cat or whatever, and that's a decent way of keeping your shields up and stuff like that. But I noticed that most of the time the drain, if you have your free on, is a little bit too much to handle, and then your 4 is just overwhelming as well. So it's kind of met, and this is with like the lowest drain we can possibly get with Hildryn too, so it's kind of What I would recommend is, if you're playing co-op, having someone run an EV Trin, because that'll definitely help out. But yeah, unfortunately there's no frame in the game where you can sort of self-sustain apart from picking up energy orbs in the drain over time ability. So yeah, that sucks. But you have 2 Balefire chargers here. Don't know if it adds any damage. I don't think it does. But then whenever you get out your 4, you do a big old slam down. So it's very, 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 very shield intensive to be in your 4, have your free up, shoot your Balefire chargers and all that jazz. I don't really think that the numbers are that great. I think that the numbers should be a little bit lower, just the base, the drain, I mean. So the damage dealing, a lot of jazz is great, but for fun's sake, I would like to stay in the 4 for longer. And just being able to cast your 2 while in your 4 with Hildryn would, you know, take her from, I would say, maybe like a 5 frame all the way up to like a 7 or an 8 frame, in my opinion at least. Just being able to self-sustain yourself in the helicopter mode just for fun's sake, right? Because that's what it is. It's a fun frame. It's not a super effective frame. I think would make it a lot better, but that's just my take on it. So let me show you the build for Hildryn that I am running. It's pretty much about just staying alive and keeping your shields up and, you know, being able to use your abilities as much as possible for as long as possible. So we have redirection on here for shields. Roll Intensify for more power strength, more damage, adaptation so we don't die. We get the resistance to the different damage types. Prime Continuity for more duration, which turns into less drain per second. Fleet Expertise and Streamline for less drain per second. Constitution to enable that as well. And just up the duration of the 2 to catch more enemies in it. Umbral Vitality for health on there, which is also buffing up Umbral Intensify. Cunning Drift for a little bit of range. I noticed that you don't need a lot of range, just a little bit. Cruise Projection on here, you can swap this out for whatever you like. I wouldn't be taking Hildryn into a endurance run anyway. I just like, you know, having the build that, or having the Aura mod on here, which is going to be most effective versus the hardest enemies in the game. So, Arcane Velocity down here to help with the charge of the Balefire charger and, you know, up its DPS. Let's show you the build for that as well. So I've got Hornet Strike, Lethal Torrent, Magnum Force, Spiral Fusion, Pathfinder Runs, Convulsion, Anemic Agility, and Augur Pack. So it's corrosive, damage, multi-shot, fire rate, and more damage. And that's basically it. So what I recommend doing with Hildryn is probably killing all the bad guys first, and then swatting them in again. You would initiate with your 2 to get that overshields. So you jump up in the air, press your 2, press it again, you get your overshields, press your 1, okay, and then press your 4, hold these guys in the air, shoot them a little bit, do your stuff, go over to the next group, do whatever, ragdoll them, whatever the hell you want to do, and then maybe like hover above these guys here, and then press your 4 again whenever you're hovering over the ones you want to kill, and there you go, you get some pretty decent damage. If these guys weren't like super high level or whatever, and they had their armor stripped away by, you know, anything other than the Hildryns too, then it would be a pretty decent fourth ability. I just don't think that, you know, she's that great for the amount of effort you have to put in the farmer, but she's definitely a fun frame versus like lower level enemies. Like if we turn the level down to like 60 or something, kill these guys. Hold on, where's the kill button? There it is. Spawn in 20 of them. Simulate. You know, versus the lower level enemies, you do just fine. So let's go ahead, do this, and hop into the air. Press our 3, because why not? And then press our 4. You deal a little bit more damage. It's all about stripping away the armor. These guys are armored, so you pretty much tickle them. But versus Corpus and whatnot, it's far better. Just kind of spam your 2. Take the armor away. And that's how you play her. If you want to do this, totally up to you. And then you get in your 4. Go up in the air. Press your 4 again. And feels like we did no damage that time. What the fuck? Go up in the air again. Come on, that should be working. Boom. I don't know. Sometimes it does a lot of damage, sometimes it doesn't. It's pretty inconsistent. For me, anyway. For me. Balefire Charger is great, though. But other than that, that's Hildryn. That's how you play her. She's a fun frame. Not necessarily worth all the effort that you have to put in to get her, but she's definitely a fun frame. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, go ahead and hit that like button below. If you want to see more Warframe content from me, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.